Welcome everyone to Culture Report. Today we're going to talk about the most popular video in my entire channel, and that's how to create an LLC for your company. But before we do that, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and most importantly that notification bell so you can be alerted of any new content. Now let's get right to it. When I first got started in business, an attorney helped me form an LLC but charged me $5,000 to do so. It doesn't have to be that way anymore. And in this video, you're going to learn how to open your own LLC in New Jersey in just a matter of minutes. Now, the first step is get yourself over to the New Jersey portal, the business formation page to be exact. We have a link for it right down below. Now, once you're on that page, I want you to follow along. It's very simple. First, you have to pick a unique name, a name that doesn't exist already. And if your name has been taken, you can try to add a variation to that name or maybe just add an additional word. Once a name is picked out, what you're gonna have to do is then figure out what kind of an LLC you wanna open up. Now, most cases, you're gonna open up what's called a domestic LLC, which means it's gonna be working within the United States. So I'm gonna show you on my screen exactly what to do next. Once we picked out our name, and for this example, we're using the business name, Fake Name Ventures. Then we're gonna pick this drop down and we're gonna pick a New Jersey Domestic Limited Liability Company. We're then gonna continue on to the next page and pick a business designator. So what the business designator is what do you wanna see after the name? So just to keep things simple, we're just gonna pick LLC and move right along. On this page, it's going to ask you some business information. It's going to ask you for your EIN or Employer Identification Number. Now, you may not have this and you probably won't have this when you're setting up your LLC. So you can just go ahead and move over into the next page. Here, you're going to have to explain to the state what is the purpose of your business. Now, it doesn't have to be very drawn out. Now, most of my businesses are real estate related. So I go in and I put I'm going to buy and sell real estate, or I'm going to buy and rent real estate. If you're opening up a shoe store, you're going to say, I'm going to open up a shoe store, or I'm going to do whatever it is that you guys are doing, but just keep it simple and under 300 words. Once you've done that, you can just continue. Here, you're going to put in your main business address. Now, the main business address has to be within the United States. Keep that in mind. If you're opening up an LLC from another country, you're not going to be able to use an address from outside. So here you would put in an address. Just for purposes of this example, we're going to use our office address. We're going to move right along. Here you're going to pick who the registered agent and office is going to be. So you click on here, and it's going to take you over to a section where you have to enter the registered agent. Now, registered agent has to be someone from within the state. So the registered agent for this example is going to be myself. We're going to move along. Once we put in the information, on this page, we're going to add who the members are going to be. Now, members, for those of you who might not understand the difference between the registered agent and a member, the registered agent and a member does not have to be the same person. The registered agent can be your attorney, could be your accountant, but the members are going to be the people who actually deal with the day-to-day business and also are responsible for the LLC. So if you have a representative in the state, such as your attorney, maybe your real estate agent, maybe a family member, maybe someone who's in the state, that would be your registered agent. Yes, you can be the registered agent and the member as well, but some people choose not to be. So don't get confused when you see that. Most cases, 90% of the time, you are going to be the registered agent and you're going to be the member. You can add multiple members. Keep in mind, if you do have partners, you can put as many members as you're going to have on that LLC. Once we've established the members and the managers, we're going to go right into here. We're going to continue. Okay, in this section, you will dictate whether the LLC will have any provisions. So what a provision is basically a guideline or an exemption or anything along those lines that the business may have to abide by. And then in addition to that, it's going to ask you if it's going to have an expiration date. So if you feel that your business activities will cease after a year or two, you can actually go in here and say that at this date in the future, this LLC can be dissolved. So now let's move right along to the next step. On this page, you're going to see that it's going to ask you for who the signers are going to be. So you're going to want to add yourself as a signer, but you can also add other people as signers in the event that you're not available. So it doesn't have to be a member, it could be the authorized representative. but in most cases, it's just going to be the members. After you've done that, you just have to click on this and hit continue and go right into the next page. We're almost done, so just hang in there. In this page, you're gonna wanna spend some time here. This is the review section. In the review section, you're gonna wanna make sure that you didn't make any mistakes on business addresses, spelling of names, the spelling of your own LLC. Believe it or not, I've actually misspelled LLCs and I've had to use them with the misspelling. So be very careful that you don't make any mistakes here. Once you've done that and you've reviewed all the information is correct, you're gonna move on to the last page, which is the payment section. In this section, you're gonna wanna make sure that you put your contact information in the event that they need to get in touch with you. Then you're gonna scroll down and pick a payment selection. You're either gonna pay by credit card or you're gonna pay by e-check. If you use a credit card, they are gonna charge you $3.50 in order for you to be able to get your copies. If you pay with an e-check, they won't charge you anything extra. You go down here and make sure you uncheck these boxes if they're checked off if you don't wanna get spam mail. And then you go to pay now. Okay, so this final section is where you either put in your credit card information or you're gonna put in the check information, and that's it. After that's complete, you're gonna have the option to get a copy of your formation document right online. Once you do, make sure you download that document, save it in a safe place, and print it out to have an extra copy for yourself. And now let's dig a little deeper. Now, what an LLC does is it provides shelter in two different cases. It will protect you in the event of being sued, which means that if somebody went after you, they can only go after what the LLC has. So if the LLC has a bank account, if the LLC has assets, it can go after that. But it creates a division between you, your personal assets, and the company assets. That's number one. Number two would be that it also taxes you in a different manner. With an LLC or a company, what it happens is that you're being taxed on the net, which means that after the company has all their expenses, which means their driving expenses, their cell phone, their rent, basically everything that the business could possibly have as an expenditure will be taken off first, and then whatever's left, you'll get taxed on that amount. Now, as an individual, you can't do that. So that's why it's a really important part to have an LLC set up for yourself and for your business. But now, we also spoke about having members and having the registered agent, and you need to know the difference between the two. A registered agent, if I wasn't clear enough before, is someone who is going to be doing day-to-day operations for the LLC when you're not able to. Now, if you've got a lot of things going on and you need your attorney or your accountant, or maybe just someone that you hired as someone to be your representative, you can list them as being your representative, and especially if you don't live in that state. You can have someone do your paperwork, you can have someone go and open bank accounts for you, you can have them do a lot of the legal things that you would be able to do, and it's kind of like giving them an authorization or giving them a power of attorney to do business for the business. Now, the next thing you need to know about are members. Now, the CEO of the company is kind of going to be considered the managing member. The managing member is going to have the most authorization and the most power to do anything on behalf of the LLC. If you need to add more members because you have more partners, you can do so. There is no limit to how many members you can have or how many signatories you can have. Now, sometimes you may want to interchange that from time to time, and that's totally okay. I know that sometimes you may lose a partner, gain a partner, and it's not the end of the world if you just start off with just yourself and then later on add partners to the company at a later time. And now that is digging deeper. Now it's time for the question of the day. Once you've created your LLC, I'd love for you guys to leave the name down below in the comments and a link to your website or to your social media. Together we can support each other and help each other's business grow. If you enjoyed this video, check out volume 2 and volume 3 where we show you guys how to create your EIN number and also your operating agreement. Please don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, but most importantly, hit that notification bell so you can be alerted whenever we drop any great content. See you guys later, and thank you for watching.